If you're from Baltimore, then it's likely you've come across this peculiar octagonal-shaped structure sitting in the midst of Clifton Park, and that's the Clifton Park Valve House. Its unique design dates back to an era when man built elaborate structures for seemingly mundane needs. But before we begin on what purpose the Valve House served, I have to give a brief history of how droughts affected the city of Baltimore. When cities like Baltimore were developed, the high concentration of people put enormous pressure on the city's physical infrastructure. In 1853, the Baltimore government purchased the Baltimore Water Company, which would oversee ambitious plans to create a safe, reliable water system for the city. But during the early 1870s, the city of Baltimore suffered several droughts in the summer months, putting enormous strain on Jones Falls, which was the Baltimore Water Company's main source of water. Following the droughts, Maryland state legislature appropriated $4 million to dam the Gunpowder River to bring water through a tunnel into the northeast section of Baltimore. This project was barely underway in 1876 when it became clear that Lake Montebello, which was the distributing reservoir, was not enough to hydrate Baltimore, which at this time was the second largest city in the United States. So, a second reservoir was created at the nearby Lake Clifton, which also served as the summer home of Johns Hopkins. And that brings us to the Clifton Park Valve House. The Valve House was constructed in 1887 with the primary purpose of housing several water gates that would open and close, controlling the amount of water that was dispersed from Lake Clifton into Baltimore. And here are the open spaces that contain the water valves. Even though the Valve House is on the National Register of Historic Places, it's unknown what the city of Baltimore intends to do with it. Until then, I'll see you on the next adventure.